Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I gotta say, it feels good to be training again, doing cardio every day. I know, as weird as that may sound, it just feels good. I wanted to make a video today with some simple suggestions so you can be successful with your weight loss diet. I just had a conversation with a gentleman earlier, and it kind of made me remember some things that I like to put out here on the channel to help others, or to reference people that I talk to this video so they can hear it too. So to start, when you're trying to lose weight and you're going to get on a diet, you got to realize first, what kind of person are you? What kind of eating habits do you have? And when I say that, I mean, for one thing, like your activity level, how much movement you do a day, how much physical labor goes into that. And you have to be real with yourself and honest. Don't start feeding yourself for things you're not actually doing. And the other is, what type of food person are you? Are you the type of person that eats frequently during the day, several times a day, maybe not the best foods, but frequently? Or are you the type of person that eats maybe once, possibly twice a day, and goes all day long with just limited food, and basically what that ends up being is someone under eating? Because there's a big difference there. For someone who only eats once or twice a day, one of the first steps would be trying to get you to eat more frequent meals, more meals per day, maybe less in size, but more frequently, to get your metabolism burning faster, get things moving, in a direction, speed things up, start your motor, so to speak. I mean, with that kind of meal frequency, 1 or 2 times a day, you're at a standstill with your metabolism. And then, so that would put you in a position where you're eating more frequently, more meals a day. So that's a good thing. And then let's say the other person who's eating, multiple times a day, but not as good of food. What we could do with them right away, instead of getting them eating more frequently, is just break them down into, once again, the more frequent meals, but clean food, and we don't have to rev their metabolism up, because once you switch from junk food to clean food, they're used to eating multiple times a day. They'll probably be able to achieve the amount of meals that you need them to eat to get their macronutrients, and then you could speed up their metabolism. So sometimes the trick is, with some people, a lot of people, is to get them to start eating 3, 4, 5 times a day, 6 times if necessary. And then at that point, start reduction in, portions, carbohydrates, fats, increasing protein maybe a little bit more. Usually people are short on protein to begin with. So that's one of the first things that we have to bring up. And then the other thing for a weight loss protocol is, you got to get it. You got to get busy. You got to do some activity. You got to do cardio. Okay. Working out with the weights, weight training, strength training, burns carbs, builds muscle, increases your metabolism, which will cause you to burn more calories per day, but not immediately. That takes time. What's an immediate, today's sense of mind, is cardio, burning fat, and also eating clean with the diet, so that at night while you sleep, you're burning fat as well. So those are the 2 things. And then also with that, you cannot think that you can jump on a piece of cardio equipment or go outside and start running. And you got to get over, a lot of people have the misconception that faster is better, faster burns more. It doesn't at all. If you're sprinting and you have the frame of mind that you think you're going to burn fat and lean down, You're going to lose muscle, you're going to lose fat, you're going to lose everything. You're going to lose weight, but it's going to be overall weight. Whereas if you just slow down, get to your target heart rate for fat burning for your age, you will burn fat. It's going to take time. It takes consistency, over whatever time it is, depending on how much weight you got to lose. But it's more of a fast-paced walk. I mean, honestly, my cardio does not exceed 4 miles an hour on a treadmill. It's more about what your heart rate is at, And then you got to realize that, you're trying to burn fat. And fat, in order to be burned in the body, because it's not a liquid stored in your body right now as it's stored, it's like a solid, a semi-solid, like a jelly kind of looking concoction. And in order to burn that fat, you have to heat it up, turn it into what they call a lipid oil, which is a fatty oil. Get it into your bloodstream so that it can be burned, digested, and gotten rid of one way or the other. So in other words, what I'm saying is when you jump on a piece of cardio equipment and you think you do 10, 15, 20 minutes of cardio and you're leaning down, if you truly have weight to lose, you're lying to yourself and you're wasting your time. You have to heat your body up to burn that fat. So it's going to take some time. Okay. There's techniques you can do to get you, warmed up faster. You can wear like a fat burning belly belt. You can do things like that, put on a sweatsuit. You can get hot to begin with, whatever. But the point of the matter is it takes time during the exercise to burn that fat, and it has to be because you've heated yourself up, got yourself sweating. Maybe not sweating, but you're hot. At the end of the 30 minutes that I just did, you could feel you're starting to perspire and shirt's getting a little wet, but it's not like you're soaking wet and you got to change your clothes. Some people it will be. Depends on your eating habit. I eat pretty clean, but if you're getting on this diet and it's because you've been eating junky food and you start doing cardio right away, you're going to sweat like a pig because you got a lot of fluid in your body that's retained, and all of a sudden you're telling your body, let's get rid of this shit. So it's going to come out. You're going to pee it out. You're going to sweat it out. That's the other thing too. I'm glad I brought that up because I would have forgotten. Doing cardio kind of signals your body, in my opinion, from my experience, to let go of any excess water retention. In other words, things that you may typically get bloated from, maybe you don't get so bloated, or maybe you don't get bloated at all, because the cardio, drinking clean water, and this is including everything now. This isn't just doing cardio and then going crazy elsewhere in the world. You're eating clean, you're training, you're doing cardio, you're drinking copious quantities of water a day, hopefully only water each day, or besides that, maybe some coffee, protein shakes, and amino drinks or something like that, but no other junk, okay? You're going to let go of that water. So that's another thing too, And just to touch base on one more thing, since we're on the diet aspect, it has done not a lot not directly to do with the weight loss, but salt. Listen, unless you got a blood pressure issue or, something medically wrong with you that the doctor tells you don't use salt, salt is essential. It's an essential nutrient. People who cut salt out of their bodies, don't take it in, you end up suffering. I've seen a ton of people break out into cramps and all kinds of weird things happening in the middle of the night while they're sleeping, getting cramps and stuff, and can't explain it. In weird places too, like in your ribs and, your back and chest and all kinds of weird stuff. But anyway, I recommend pink Himalayan salt. Mediterranean sea salt is good as well. Maybe alternate between the two here and there. But pink Himalayan salt especially, because it's got other ingredients in the salt. Not to get too scientific about it, there's BHP salts and other things in there that cause you to reduce your stress hormones like cortisol, aldosterone, things like that, which in turn causes less water retention. So, not to get off on a tangent about the salt, But when you get on that pink Himalayan salt and everything, and it brings down your water retention with everything else you're doing, the cardio and the weight loss and all that, so does your blood pressure. Because usually your myocardium's got more fluid in it when you start, your blood pressure's up, then you lose a little bit of that fluid, and then the blood pressure comes down. So joint pain, things like that could even improve. You know, you should also be taking a fish oil, omega-3, a good quality fish oil, you know, with more than just omega-3s, primrose oil, other things, you know, we've got it here at Slim Jim. As well as, you know, multivitamin, depending on your age and your situation. You know, once people are adult, I recommend a joint support formula because it ain't going to get any better once you're adult. It's all downhill from there. So take care of yourself that way. But yeah, the diet, to go back to that, you got to evaluate what kind of person you are as far as how you eat right now. You need to make adjustments with that. I mean, sure, that's what we do for a majority of our business, is help people. I mean, even with these instructions I give you, people still need some guidance. I mean, you need to know what, when, and how much of things to eat. But in a nutshell, that's kind of, you know, the bulk of it. But you got to get your metabolism going. And if you're only eating once a day, twice a day, that ain't going to work. You got to bring it up. You got to eat 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. Are you kidding me? I know guys that eat 6 to 10 times a day, bodybuilders. So it's the majority of the work is, believe it or not, in the food. So it's, the training's fun. The cardio gets to be less miserable. It's not so bad after the beginning and you start losing weight. It becomes more acceptable. It's the food, but you got to understand that you eat for performance, and when you start eating like this, that you perform better, you feel better, and everything's better. You're healthier. You know what? You won't be visiting the doctor as much. Maybe you don't get sick as much. Maybe you feel more energy right away in the morning. All that kind of stuff is better. So stop making excuses, okay? That's the other thing. I've seen so many people got so many reasons they can't do this, they won't do that, this, that, and the other. Listen, when you're given a plan, you come to somebody for help. When you buy a book, whatever it is, you look for an idea for some help for a diet, follow it. Compliance is the key. If you go bouncing around, you're going to do a little of this, but you're not going to do that, you're going to mix this with that, you're never going to be successful. No matter what diet you do, you got to be consistent, or there's no way. So, because I'm not sitting here saying any one diet's better than the other, because that's not true either. I do a mixture of all kinds. I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's some BS out there too that lately that's hit the scene. But we're not going to get into all that right now. So find out what kind of person you are, realize how many times a day you eat, clean up your food, eat multiple times a day, then start reducing your food, doing cardio, watch your target heart rate. Don't do short-term cardio. Don't do over 60 minutes at a time. If you got to do more than that, you should be doing more than one session a day. I do 30 in the morning. I do 30 after my workout right now. Later on, that's going to go to an hour each. And then maybe a half an hour in the evening when I get closer to my shows, you know. And that's also that I can continue to eat like I do. Otherwise, no cardio, back off the cardio. You got to back off the food, but then you look like shit. So it's not, you can't do that. You got to eat clean, and you got to do the cardio. And drink your water, because that's another thing. If you don't drink enough water, your body will retain water because it goes into a conservation, like starvation mode. It realizes what you're doing, so it's hanging on to it, supply and demand. So most people, at least a gallon of water a day. More is better if you can do more, you know, and then you're going to go to the bathroom a lot. You're going to go to the bathroom overnight, and that's normal. Some people may tell you no. Bullshit, okay? If everything's flushing out, it's good. It's healthy. Your kidneys are clean. Everything's going well. You know, you're going to sit there with it in you all night long just because somebody told you shouldn't have to get up in the middle of the night. Clean yourself out. Anyway, that's about it. Hit like, hit the bell so you get notified of new videos. subscribe, share it if you will to your friends, and tell them about us. Slim Jim here in Frankfort, Illinois, slimjimfitness.com. And come check us out. Specializing in weight loss. We also have circuit training classes, one-on-one personal training, 30-minute time frames, 60-minute time frames. And like I said, the circuit training classes are geared up to 10 people, and it's fast paced, moving. 30 minutes, get you done, get you beat up, get you out of here. And it's over really quick before you know it, and you feel pretty good about getting your butt kicked. All right, take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon, and bye-bye.